Hello, everyone. Today I would like to speak with you about spokesperson, spokespeople, and the importance of having the right spokesperson in the right place at the right time. Many assume that the best spokesperson any organization can and should have is someone who works in the communication department. The issue is much more nuanced than this, and it depends solely on the context of the intervention expected from the organization. Is it a statement? Is it a reaction? Is it a rebuttal? Is it breaking news, either good or bad? Is it a new business achievement? Is it an initial finding, like the findings or the initial statements after an accident? As someone who has trained quite a significant number of spokespersons, both for governments and private sector, I can definitely recommend that you have at least 3 spokespeople fully trained and ready to be on air at any time, day or night. The larger the government department or the business, the more spokespeople you will need. Why? Because there is a little something called life in the form of holidays one will be on, or planes or trains that are cancelled, poor Wi-Fi or 4G or 5G connections, bereavement, sickness leave, and so on. Never ever rely on a single person to be your public face. Allow me to explain who you need, when you need them, and what you need them for. Let's start with the CEO or the managing director or the minister or secretary of state, however that individual's position is called in your country. This individual needs to always come before the cameras when the reputation of the organization is severely threatened by external actors, especially if we are talking about a publicly listed business. No PR or comms individual will appease the shareholders or an angry media more than the CEO or the MD of that business will. When a groundbreaking initiative is announced, this applies to government departments or governments themselves, or when a new significant business deal is made, acquisition, merger, overseas expansion, etc., only the minister or the CEO or MD, as applicable, should appear before the cameras. This is what one would call tier 1 intervention. Needless to say, the manner in which these individuals present themselves, engage with the cameras and the various media representatives in the room, especially with those whose body language they cannot see, and here I'm talking about the viewers at home or the listeners on the radio, etc., needs to be impeccable and fully rehearsed. At this level that we're talking about, there is zero room for error, and any error can be very costly. 2, subject matter experts. Usually, these individuals are heads of various departments within the ministry in question, in case of the civil servants, or directors of departments within the organization. They are supposed to answer very specific and detailed questions, which, in all fairness, no minister or CEO would have an answer to. They are there to provide comfort to any doubts about a project or a solution, and to any and all inherent level of risks that may be associated with that project or solution. There is absolutely nothing wrong or unprofessional with having a question asked of a minister or CEO and have that redirected to one of these experts. They are specialists in their area. And if they happen to make a mistake or say too much or too little, then appropriate corrections can be made either in writing or in a separate brief. 3. Communication profession. From a media and public point of view, we are the least credible source of information due to the nature of the perception many hold about our practice. Truth and honesty have seldom been publicly associated with PR or communication professionals, and while there are very small indicators that we are starting to shift the needle, we are not there yet. The PR people of any pardon me, of any government department or business are best used in one-to-one relationship building with the media, or in reading a statement, or in answering questions related to catastrophic events in the immediate aftermath, i.e., that being the moment when there is still very little information available and someone does need to step in front of the cameras. Even if the initial statement is changing, i.e., after a catastrophe, accident, etc., this is how that post-catastrophe first statement is called, and it will always change as new and more complex information becomes available. The professional communicator will pass on the relay to either the subject matter experts, to the government minister, or the CEO. Many private businesses, especially the ones that I would call infant, ask the PR director or communications director to be the spokesperson of the business in any and all media requests. That is, pardon my French, truly daft. The spokesperson, irrespective of their tier, needs to be able to read the room and read the mood, especially in negative and emotion-laden situations. When people have been injured or killed, when an environmental catastrophe ensued, when the activists' voices and actions are louder than anyone else's, and when there is significant dissent. In-depth media or public speaking training will need to be done with the subject matter experts because, being specialists in their field, these individuals usually forget that they address a non-specialist audience, and that a significant part of what they need to explain or provide details on needs to be translated into human. If you choose your spokespeople wisely, and I would always advocate for credible, experienced, and highly qualified individuals, you are very likely to ride any public wave, providing that everything they say can be independently verified, that it can be proved at any point in time, and that it can be said in earnest. Always understand that you are facing the public, that you are expected to tell the truth, that you are expected to say, I don't know, but allow me to get back to you as soon as I possibly can with more information. Remember that saying, I'm sorry and I apologize, do not mean that you assume the blame, as we or some of us know all too well that the American, shall we say, suing culture is absolutely booming across the Atlantic. It just shows that you have a bit of common sense, respect, and you understand that sometimes in critical situations, being human and respectful, it is all that is being asked of you. Thank you. As always, I'm looking forward to your comments, views, agreements, and disagreements, of course. And until we see each other again, look after yourselves and stay safe. Thank you.